Ice Cube, because Ice Cube has come out and given everybody some brutal truth. Sorry, Angel Reese, the $5 million offer was only for Caitlyn Clark.
Personal, but it was business. That's all it is, business. Y'all gonna make it personal, though.
Angel Reese is facing a wave of public heat as several major sponsors distance themselves from the star athlete. What began as whispers online has grown into a full-on PR storm. Ice Cube made headlines with a pointed snub, and fans are voicing their criticism louder than ever. Nicknamed the Bayou Barbie, Reese has hit a rough patch in her branding journey, one that's been amplified since Caitlyn Clark stole the spotlight and seemingly took over both the narrative and the fan base. Fallout, it's getting harder to ignore.
Angel Reese, she's all in Indiana during All-Star, and her Reebok campaign, come to your trap, take over your trap.
At one point, Angel Reese was set to take over the WNBA spotlight, hailed as the league's next big icon. A marketing dream, a fan favorite, a brand powerhouse. But the momentum didn't last. Suddenly, the headlines changed. Industry chatter grew louder. What was once a wave of support has started pulling back, and now we're watching the fallout unfold in real time. Sponsors that were once eager to team up, quietly backing away, one by one.
Ice Cube, they're about to come and get Ice Cube. We know how this works. It won't be long.
Behind the scenes, tensions are high. Several high-profile campaigns connected to Angel Reese have quietly been paused, some indefinitely. Others scrapped altogether. Marketing teams are crunching the numbers, watching engagement dip, and questioning the return on investment, the once solid confidence, now replaced with hesitation. Industry insiders are beginning to ask the hard question, is Angel Reese still a safe bet? And what sparked this sudden shift? According to many, it all started with a bold public move by Ice Cube.
So, Ice Cube, you see the headline from TMZ. Sorry, Angel Reese, the $5 million offer was only for Caitlyn Clark.
It only took one unfiltered interview with TMZ to set everything in motion. A few sharp words, and the impact hit like a shockwave. When asked why Caitlyn Clark and only Caitlyn Clark received a $5 million offer from his Big Three league, Ice Cube didn't hold back. They didn't say the same about Angel Reese. He admitted no sugarcoating, no spin, just a cold business truth. Sponsors believed Caitlyn Clark could bring in millions. Angel, not the same story.
This is confirmation from the people that want to pay the money. Sponsors.
Ice Cube didn't mince words. I'm not in the business of losing money. And just like that, the message couldn't have been clearer. It wasn't just a soundbite, it was a wake-up call. If someone like Cube, who balances street credibility with business savvy, doesn't see the value in backing Angel Reese, it raises a tough question for corporate sponsors. If he's out, why should they take the risk?
TMZ Sports caught up with Ice Cube himself at LAX this week. And the Big Three honcho said that there will be no deal put in front of Angel Reese anytime soon.
Be honest, this goes beyond a single lost deal. This is about perception. And in today's market, perception is currency. The moment Ice Cube's comments hit the airwaves, the ripple effect began. Behind closed doors, execs were suddenly second-guessing plans. You can almost hear the conversations. Are we still moving forward with that Angel Reese campaign next quarter? Momentum faded, not because Angel lacks talent, but because the metrics aren't matching the media buzz. Asterisk.
Didn't tell us the same thing about Angel Reese.
Meanwhile, Caitlyn Clark's story couldn't be more different. When the Big Three offered her $5 million, it wasn't a gamble, it was a strategic move. 10 games, 1 spotlight, 8 regular season matchups, 2 playoffs. That's $500,000 per appearance. Numbers like that, that's LeBron level return on investment. That's the kind of star power sponsors chase and invest in. Now compare that with Angel Reese. No offer, no talks, no interest. For fans who believed in the girl hype, that reality hit hard, because this wasn't social media chat.
Caitlyn Clark went to Chicago and took the city over. It looked like she took the city over. CC with MJ. CC get treated like MJ in the rack. Oh my God.
Here's where it really stings. This all unfolded while Caitlyn Clark was taking over Chicago, Angel Reese's city. Her ground. While Reese's Reebok campaign was quietly losing steam, Clark was out in the streets, drawing crowds like Michael Jordan in his prime. Fans weren't paid to show up. They weren't part of a campaign. This was real people sprinting toward her, shouting her name. Waiting hours just to get an autograph. The internet summed it up best. Caitlyn Clark came to her trap and took it, plain and simple. Asterisk.
Wow, I'm not sure any other single outside of just the pure numbers that we keep showing people, literal numbers?
Angel Reese is staring down a tough truth. The hype that launched her into the league just isn't enough anymore. Once sponsors started comparing the date-actual influence, market reach, and long-term value, the numbers told a different story. And every time, the edge went to Caitlyn Clark.
I understand your place sometimes. Look, they talking about Caitlyn Clark took over Angel Reese's trap. See, this is why you don't need to keep trying to take shots at her. She took the city over.
This is the risk of building a brand before delivering on the court. The false promise that followers automatically turn into dollars. Now, as the sponsorship deals dry up and the offers stop rolling in, the fallout is quietly painful and far from dramatic. And the hardest truth. Ice Cube didn't throw shade, he simply spoke facts. Facts that are now echoed by the people holding the checkbooks. Asterisk.
Caitlyn Clark took over Chicago. She signed autographs for hours. This wasn't no extras that was paid to come stand in the scene. No, these were real people trying to get autographs.
Angel Reese was set to be the league's biggest draw, but now she's become a cautionary story. When Caitlyn Clark rolled into Chicago, she didn't just show up, she took complete control. We're talking full-on fan frenzy, and if you were wondering who was supposed to own that city, all signs pointed to Angel Reese. But what started as her turf quickly turned into Caitlyn's coronation. The message was clear in line. On the streets, everywhere, Caitlyn Clark took over Angel Reese's trap, not just a figure of speech. The streets of Chicago were packed with fans, shouting her name, waving jerseys, chasing her like she was the next Michael Jordan.
With all new WNBA merchandise, sky jerseys, teams and more, we've got something.
Caitlyn Clark did in Chicago wasn't just about basketball, it was a full cultural takeover. She wasn't just accepted by the city, she was embraced by the fans and the energy. The memes even crowned her the queen of the rack. That's when everything shifted. Angel Reese had the swagger, the slogans, the Reebok deal, but Caitlyn, she had the people's hearts. And when it comes to influence, the people don't lie.
I don't know how you could ever imagine, like, how can you compete with this?
But here's where the story gets even messier. Just as Caitlyn Clark's buzz was skyrocketing, Angel Reese began to quietly fade away. A nationally televised game. She was listed as questionable. The next big showdown. Still day-to-day, especially back issues are serious, but fans started digging deeper. Speculation grew. Was Angel really too hurt to play? Or was she just playing it safe, avoiding a direct comparison with Caitlyn Clark?
Angel Reese was not going to be able to bring in the amount of eyes for the sponsors and for the league for him to justify that offer.
If Caitlyn Clark was out there filling arenas while Angel Reese stayed sidelined and ratings started slipping, the difference would be impossible to ignore. Some fans said Reese didn't want to be outshined on live TV. Others speculated her team saw the writing on the wall and advised her to keep a low profile. Given how fast social media spins these stories, none of that sounds too far-fetched.
Get to be a dog and get to that platform where you get to bring a national title, the first one back to LSU, without having that type of mentality, that chip on your shoulder. And I feel like we have to let these young women be unapologetically.
Even Ice Cube's team reportedly noticed engagement on Angel. Reese's name was dipping before she started missing games. Less buzz, less excitement, less energy. That's exactly what sponsors watch closely. And in the business world, that's a red flag as big as a WNBA arena.
Not measure up. You don't have as many followers you have on Instagram. That is great. I will not take away from the fact that you are one of the bigger brands in the WNBA. You are a star in your own right, but you are not Caitlyn Clark. It's a difference.
This is where the data speaks loudest. And numbers don't lie. Caitlyn Clark's jersey sales are off the charts. Attendance at her games, sellouts, across the board, home and away. TV ratings are doubling, sometimes even tripling, what the WNBA saw last season. This isn't just a local thing. She's a national draw, lighting up arenas wherever she goes. Angel Reese remains a recognizable name and a talented player. But let's be honest, the stats don't come close to matching. Caitlyn Clark's her jersey sales are steady but far from record-breaking. Even LSU struggled to fill half its home arena after a national championship win. Without the viral moments and social media drama, Angel's impact just doesn't move the needle like it used to.
So Ice Cube's literally saying, we sat down, looked at the actual figures, and the draw wasn't there. The fever wasn't there. Oh, no pun intended.
That same phrase keeps popping up from sports YouTubers to business insiders alike. Men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. When it's time to write the checks, sponsors want certainty, not guesswork. And Caitlyn Clark delivers that every time. So the real question isn't whether Angel Reese has talent, she clearly does. It's whether the drama and public image are helping her or holding her back. And after what we've seen in Chicago and heard from Ice Cube, the answer is getting louder by the day.